I just ran my first ultra marathon and it might just been the hardest thing that I've ever done. Ultra running is completely different to running, say, a 10K or a half marathon. With those kind of distances, you are more aerobically challenged. But when it comes to ultras, everything is in the legs and the mind. So in this video, I want to share everything I learned from running an ultra marathon, from how to plan and prepare, what to expect, how they differ from the 4 main regular running distances, and the actual benefits to running an ultra marathon. Let's get into it. An ultra marathon is classed as anything that exceeds a normal marathon. Common distances include 50k, 50 miles, 100k and 100 miles. And unlike regular running distances, they usually take place over trails, mountains and deserts. The ultramarathon I ran was called Race to the Stones, and it was a 100-kilometer ultramarathon that began in Lucknow and went along Britain's oldest trail all the way down to Avebury. What I experienced during this race was something that I haven't throughout all my years of training in the gym and running, but more on that in a bit. So with the distance being a lot longer and the terrain a lot more challenging, this makes ultras a completely different kind of beast. Unless you're an elite athlete, you won't be running the whole thing. So your approach to the race, how you fuel and hydrate, and what you bring with you is all crucial. So let's talk about how to plan and prepare. Everything that could have went wrong for me during this race did. It was 35 degrees, so really hot. 21 kilometers in, I had knee pain. I had huge blisters down the middle of both my feet, and the hills just kept coming. But looking back, this could have all been a lot better had I done a few things differently. So with the heat, obviously you can't really control the weather, but what you can do is make sure you are hydrating effectively and with electrolytes. Don't just drink plain water. I now use Element as my go-to brand for electrolytes, and it's probably one of the best ones you can get. Also, if it is going to be really hot on your race day, ensure you bring a hat with you and find a place to dunk it throughout the race. This is great because it offers temporary respite from the blazing sun. They had buckets for us at all the aid stations where we could do this, and it helped massively. Now, as I said before, most ultras run along trails and off-road terrain, so you want to make sure you're well equipped. I had a good pair of trail runners for this event, and it definitely helped with ankle stability. So I could have definitely done with some spare socks to help with the blisters, as well as some hiking sticks to deal with all the hills that kept coming up. So these are things you might want to consider depending on what your route looks like. You might also want to consider bringing a battery pack to charge your phone as you're going to be out for a while. This definitely made a difference for me during my race. I was out for 16 hours and without this I would have been fucked. Finally, when it comes to fueling for an ultra, you want to ensure you're eating proper food as opposed to gels. This is because we aren't running as fast as we normally would, but we are running for a long time. So we want to maintain consistent energy levels throughout the day. And carb food sources are the best way to do this. So bring some carb food sources with you on the event and ensure that you're making the most of whatever they have to offer at the pit stops. So now let's talk about why you need to do an ultra. During this race, I experienced something that I never had before, at least not to this degree. I had 2 big moments where I genuinely wanted to throw the towel in, but despite my mind telling me to quit, I kept going, and the mental strength I gained afterwards was insane. It relates back to what David Goggins has been preaching for years about the iron mind and pushing past those mental blocks. Even now, 2 weeks later, I'm still reaping the benefits from this race. And when I look back, I still think, wow, I can't believe I actually did that. I honestly think everyone needs to experience this kind of challenge at least once in their life. Overcoming your brain to achieve something you never thought you could gives you the best kind of mental fortitude. But that's everything for this video today. If you found this helpful, please like and subscribe. Thank you.